town hall. I know these are very anxious times, but we continue to move forward. And I want to thank our campus community here at Wesley College for your patience and persistence in this process, but also our colleagues at Delaware State University for their inclusion and allowing this process to unfold in a very transparent way. And I also want to thank everybody's efforts as we looked at what is the best of both colleges that now we merge together to provide the best for the community we serve. And there's still a lot to do, but again, the efforts that have been made at Delaware State and at Wesley, I would call it our collective Hornet Wolverine family, has been very inspiring and very much appreciated. So unfortunately, as Dr. Allen said, I have to leave this conversation in about 10 minutes to get my second COVID vaccination. And before I leave, I'll put a pitch out to every one of you. For those of you that have not gotten vaccinated yet, if you have the opportunity, please get vaccinated. If not for yourself, but for those you serve and the communities you live in, because together we can and we will defeat this virus. So thank you, Dr. Allen. Thank you, friends and colleagues at Del State, for hosting this. And again, looking forward to the future, moving forward together.
Thank you, President Clark, and appreciate all your efforts and continued leadership. I do want to say a few things about vaccination, particularly for our Wesley colleagues. We had a vaccination clinic last week, maxed out 400 doses, which I was quite proud of. Interestingly enough, I saw more students there than anybody, which gave me great pride as to the importance and how seriously they are taking it. But to our Wesley colleagues, know that you are invited to all of our vaccination clinics. We welcome you. And we have another one on April 16th right here on campus from 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. So you'll be hearing about that here shortly, but just know that you are welcome to take advantage. And I believe we're offering the Pfizer vaccine that day. I'm sure many of you have heard some media reports relative to Johnson & Johnson overnight here. They are pulling that vaccine for further research, but Moderna and Pfizer are still alive and well, doing well for us. And I think many, many folks are continuing to get the vaccination. Also, as I've said before, I'm expecting a fully vaccinated campus come fall for faculty, staff, and students. So it behooves you to take advantage of this as we approach the fall game. I also want to note that while we didn't win the Delaware Cup, as it were, on Saturday, we did do something very special. We opened up our campus for the first time in a year and a half, and did it thoughtfully. Had about 800 fans in the stands, some parents, certainly a number of students and alumni, and I was quite proud of our continuing what I would call best-in-class protocols and how we were able to manage ourselves both on the field and through our efforts to protect one another throughout. South Carolina State is this Saturday. I do expect the win, as Coach Milstead knows, and I am also welcoming many Wesley colleagues again to that game. So you will hear more about that here as well. Let me tell you, I do know that, as President Clark said, that it is an anxious time, and we are very close to finalizing our final decisions that I know many of you are anxious about. That's one of the reasons we wanted to have this call. But let me give you ongoing perspective, which you've heard before. The 147-year Wesley brand is important to us. We are proud to bring that brand into the Delaware State University family. We see that as a once-in-a-generation opportunity, not just for Delaware State, but for Dover, Kent County, and the entire state of Delaware. I think you all know that we'll be the first HBCU to ever acquire another university, but that is not why we did it. We feel like your students, faculty, and staff match what we believe. We believe we can serve more students together and do that thoughtfully and create a unique opportunity in Delaware, particularly as it relates to our health sciences college, which I believe will rival any college in the region. So this is an exciting time for us. I also want to be very clear that we have reviewed literally every Wesley colleague through this process, and we will be taking a substantial number, asking a substantial number of you to join us. That's important. as I've talked about the Wesley acquisition and spent a lot of time, a number of hours, probably uncountless hours with President Clark, I had a sense of the talent, but I know it firsthand now, have a great respect for it, and believe it's going to take our combined university to the next level. And really have an earnest belief in that. Just to give you a couple of factoids around that. When this is done, we will near 6,000 students. We'll have a $30 million research portfolio, and we'll be generating about $350 million annually back to the state of Delaware because of this deal. It is an important piece for us, and I'm hoping you all will join us and be a part of what I think is going to be a defining moment in Delaware history. Also, for our students, and I do mean both our Delaware State students and our Wesley College students, this is going to be terrific for that as well. We have added new programs, best in class. We have spent time thinking about what a downtown campus is going to mean for the quality of services that we can provide, our infrastructure, et cetera. And we're quite proud that we are earning the choice of every Wesley College student every day. Last week, we started two sessions a week at the Wesley College campus, registering students. Students, if you're out there, remember, if you are a Wesley student, all of your credits are coming to Delaware State University. Not to worry about that. And that's without exception. And per your degree program, the one degree program you expected to complete at Wesley College, that is the degree program you will be completing at Delaware State University. So we know it's not a foregone conclusion that you'll join us, but we believe that we have a great experience for you, and we're going to try to earn your choice every time. And then finally, as we go through this process, particularly this session, know that we want to hear all of your questions. I believe Ms. Howard-Bailey and Dr. Hawkins have worked exceptionally well together, thinking through this process and what that means. They will walk you through some of that today, but we really want to hear your feedback and any questions that might arise. If we don't have the answers now, we'll certainly get them. But if we do, this is an opportunity to make sure that you're clear about the expectations at Delaware State, and you're clear about both the timeline and the process. So with that, I'll turn it over to Dr. Hawkins and Ms. Howard-Bailey.
Thank you, Dr. Allen, and good morning, everyone. Thank you for joining us today for this forum. As Dr. Allen has said, and Mr. Clark has said, President Clark, has said, it's important that we really communicate with you all, and that is the reason why we thought that it would be important for us to talk to you about the next steps in this process of Wesley College joining Delaware State University. So I want to give you a brief overview of what you will expect, what to expect in the next couple of days. So beginning tomorrow, April 14th, DSU will begin distributing letters of consideration for roles, different roles in various departments at DSU to current Wesley employees and vendors that have been selected for these roles. So let me say that again. Tomorrow, we will begin sending you letters. These letters will be sent to you electronically. Ms. Howard-Bailey has graciously given us your email addresses, so we will not send you something in writing. This will be electronic. You can expect this to get to you anywhere between first thing in the morning, but definitely before 12 noon. The letter will outline the position for which you are being considered, and the division or department or college for which this position resides. The letter will also outline different steps of the onboarding process that will be necessary to complete should you accept this consideration. So what we're asking for is this. Number one, when you get this consideration document electronically, what we're asking you to do is to read it thoroughly. And once you read it, we would like for you to notify Ms. Dawn Howard Bailey, the Director of HR at Wesley, of your intentions of accepting this position of consideration on or before April 19th, before the close of the business day, April 19th. So I know that it's a short time frame, but we're also trying to stay focused with our milestones in order that we are able to get through this process and the entire acquisition process successfully. So we're trying to stick with our time frame. So in the coming days, DSU, once we have heard from Ms. Bailey, what we will do is then take those individuals who have indicated that of their intent to accept. Delaware State University will be in touch with you to discuss what the official next steps will be. So in your letter, you're going to see a few things that have to happen. Number one, again, just to reiterate, you will see the position for which you're being considered. You will also see the division for which this title resides. You will also, we will speak to you about the location of where this position resides. Now, I know there may be a lot of questions in terms of, for our Wesley family, does that mean that we're going to stay at the Wesley campus? I can't tell you that on day one, but we will be discussing, just where we anticipate that the position will be located. I can't give you a specific room number. That's what I'm really trying to say. We will also talk about the buildings that, of course, that you would be assigned. Another area of concern, I'm sure, is just the total onboarding process, which includes different requirements that will have to be followed in order for us to be in compliance. And that also includes the compensation benefit process that we will be also sharing with you. We will go into much greater detail. We will also talk about the hours of operation that we'll have to discuss with the respective department leaders, administrators here, so that it can be discussed with you should you accept this consideration. We will also talk about employee orientation. It is mandatory that we hold employee orientation sessions for anyone who is joining the DSU team. There will also be an official date of hire, which will then be the date that we anticipate, if you do accept the consideration, that you will fully be acquired by Del State. Just to touch on what Dr. Allen and President Clark said with regard to COVID, we have a very good COVID-19 policy. It's very strategic, it's very detailed. But the one thing that we insist upon is that everybody follow it. And that is something that we will also be talking about in terms of what you can expect in terms of testing, in terms of, as Dr. Allen just said, in terms of the availability of vaccinations here on the campus. So that's what you can expect in the next couple of days. But we wanted to put it out there to you that when I say the next couple of days, it starts tomorrow. So I'm going to turn it over to Ms. Dawn Howard Bailey for additional information.
Good morning, everyone, and thank you so much, Dr. Hawkins. I just want to reiterate one point that Dr. Hawkins said, and that's basically, please read the information that you get, and please notify me before or by April 19th, your intentions as to whether or not you're going to accept or decline the consideration. It's very important that I get this information in a timely manner so that Dr. Hawkins and I can continue to collaborate on next steps. So if you have any questions regarding what Dr. Hawkins has said, this is the forum to ask. Or if you have any other questions of me, ask me as well. And I just want to take the time now to thank everybody for their cooperation. And I know it's been very difficult, but I really thank and appreciate everything that you guys are doing. And thank you, Dr. Hawkins, for everything that you are doing as well. And thank you for the collaboration with me.
Dr. Hawkins, Ms. Howard Bailey, could you just talk a little bit to those who will not receive a communication tomorrow and what they should be doing?
Sure. So for those of you who do not receive a communication notification from Delaware State University, just know that the decision was not an easy one. And I understand, the stresses that you and the rest of the Wesley family have gone through during this period. However, if you do not receive notification from DSU, Wesley College, and Ms. Dawn Howard Bailey will be in touch with you. And whatever notification that is necessary, they will take care of it at that time.
Yes, we will actually, communicate with you and also obviously continue to provide resources and help you in every effort that we can, in any way we can.
Great. Thank you both. We appreciate your leadership and your collaboration. Now we're going to open it up for questions. Brother McMillan, if you would open up the chat.
Okay. Our first question, will the letter reference salary and benefits, or will we find that information out during an onboarding process?
So in answer to the question, as I said before, it will, the letter will indicate the position and the division for which this role will reside. It will not indicate compensation or benefits at this time. This is a consideration letter for you to tell us that you want to be considered for it. And as I said before, once we know that, and that's why it is crucial, I have to say it again, crucial that you get back in touch with Ms. Howard Bailey by Monday, because then we will start the process and you will hear from us. And of course, at that time, it will be, as I just outlined, some of the things that you will hear from us, compensation and benefits. So no, in answer to your question, no, it will not tell you what the compensation will be. It will not outline the benefits, but be assured that we have packets ready and waiting for those of you who will decide or have decided once you've read the letter that you want to be considered.
Next question.
Will letters of consideration also be sent to adjunct professors?
No, I will take that one. We have a very robust adjunct process here at the university. We did not include adjuncts in this go around. You'll hear more about that process for those of you who are adjuncts at a later date. Just know that we use adjuncts much like you do, but that we included that as a separate process from this one.
Will the actual communication be sent to our personal emails, or is it our Wesley email?
I'm going to let Ms. Howard Bailey tell you exactly what she gave me.
Okay. So I gave Dr. Hawkins our Wesley email address because everyone didn't provide their personal email addresses.
In the event that we respond to the consideration letter in the affirmative, it is not binding until we have all of the information. That is the question. Is it binding?
No, there's nothing binding about the consideration letter you receive tomorrow. I am going to ask Dr. Hawkins to talk about dates for start, just so you have a sense of timing. But before we do that, I think what's important here is that we want to be thoughtful, and we also haven't been presumptive. I told you that we have asked a substantial number of Wesley colleagues to join us, but we are asking you to join us after you go through what you see from us relative to the compensation package and the other offerings of what we think is a great place to work. You'll have a decision to make, obviously, but there's nothing binding about the letter you'll receive tomorrow. Dr. Hawkins?
Sure. So just to give you a sense of what we're talking about in terms of start dates, we have, let me start off by saying we have a process, an onboarding process, which all employers must abide by to be in compliance with the Department of Labor. So we want to keep that going. However, our start dates will be either July 1 or our start date, I know in academic affairs for especially the faculty positions, would be the August 25th date when the university actually opens up for school for the new fall semester. If you do get a date other than those dates that I've just stated, then we have arranged, we have made an arrangement with a respective department head here and have also spoken with the respective administrators over at Wesley to come up with a date that both areas are agreeable to.
Next question, President Miller.
Understanding about the letters of consideration that they will not discuss benefit. The question is, do benefits begin immediately based on the date of hire or after 90 days?
So that you understand, our benefits are administered. The plan administrator for our benefits, with the exception of two, happen to be the state of Delaware. So for your medical benefits, I will say this, they start the first month. Please hear me clearly. The first month following 90 days of employment. So not 90 days, but the first month following 90 days. So, you know, we will be discussing that. Our benefits coordinator will be discussing that with you also. In terms of some of the other benefits, such as dental, optical insurances, the life insurance is pretty much the date you start. Dental and optical are 30 days after employment, but the medical, first month following 90 days of employment.
When should DSU department chairs, deans, administrators anticipate learning if positions are being offered to or accepted by individuals who will reside in their particular units at DSU?
Just to give you a sense of the process, and it sounds like a member of the Delaware State family asking that question. As it relates to faculty in particular, the deans and department chairs reviewed those lists and made some recommendations as a result. So you will hear about our Wesley College family accepting those positions right after the 19th. Having said that, you should give us a little time to walk through what it means for them relative to their compensation package and other offerings. but you can get a sense of that right after they have said that they have accepted the letter of consideration.
For those who do not receive a consideration letter, when can we expect an email or a communication from Dawn Howard Bailey confirming that we will not be getting a consideration letter?
So my plan is to try to have this at the same time you get the other individuals get their consideration letters. So I'm going to try to have that by tomorrow.
That is the last question that we have in the chat, Dr. Allen.
Okay. Okay, well, a couple of things I want you all to know. If you continue to have questions, particularly the Wesley colleagues, please reach out to Ms. Howard Bailey, as you probably are doing. For our Delaware State University community, obviously, Dr. Hawkins remains the point of contact. I can tell you that this process is one that I am proud we put together, was very transparent in its approach, and I think is yielding positive benefits for the new combined entity, which I think will be very strong as a result of this acquisition. So I thank you all of you, for what you've done and what you mean to your students and to each other. And I am expecting an exceptional onboarding process for our new colleagues, and a continued effort for us to focus on the one thing that is most important to all of us, access to higher education for more students who deserve it across this state and beyond. So thank you for joining. I look forward to more joint forums of this type here soon. For the Wesley College family, make sure that you come and join us for our vaccination site on Friday. And for Delaware State University, continue to know that your president is quite proud of the work you continue to do to not only keep us safe, but to maintain the academic continuity for every student we have here at Delaware State University. To all, we'll see you real soon, and thank you for joining.
Thank you.
Thank you.